Conviene perché abbiamo bisogno di andare su, la cerimonia con l'Irlanda e quindi sono più veloce, anche per voi.
Thank you.
I said it was over. That's it.
Hi everybody. Thank you very much. If I could just ask you to silence your phones if you haven't already. I'll invite broadcast, TV, online, radio to kick off the questions and then we'll have opportunity for newspapers. So raise your hands please if you have any questions. Yeah, Michael Glenn.
Congratulations. Just give me your initial assessment of the match, please.
Obviously delighted with 2 from 2 and maximum points, etc. And 36-0 is a nice scoreline for us. You know, I mean, probably equivalent to a better scoreline than 50 points to 20, etc. You know what I mean? So to put a performance like that, where I thought we was clinical at times, I thought our set piece was excellent, like top draw. And then scoring some nice tries on the back of all that type of pressure was very pleasing to get over the line. 2 from 2, and it's a decent start. It gets tougher from here on in.
Just I heard you mention it in a couple of interviews, maybe clunky and patchy, and maybe a concern about discipline as well. What do you put that down to?
Yeah, I'm probably harsh enough there, but that's how I want to be. I think sometimes that when you get your nose in front and then you make a few changes, the balance of the team's a little bit different feeling. Sometimes you get a little bit too desperate and instead of just boxing away with the stuff that we was doing and doing so well. So like creeping a little bit forward pass or falling on our backs in as far as the breakdown is concerned, and giving them an opportunity. So a few bits like that. But the pleasing thing, and it's been pleasing for quite some time now, is we're able to get over those type of setbacks and get on with the job in hand.
Any injury update? How's Hugo?
Hugo's a bang on his knee, so I don't know. He seems in good spirits, but obviously you saw him. He was limping, so we'll see how he turns up tomorrow morning. Whether he needs somebody to have a look at that or not, I don't know at this stage.
Anyone else?
Sorry, Michael, if you could get through.
No.
Andy, I know it's 2 from 2. You've really done a couple of things to come, but how pleased were you that you dominated this match from pretty much start to finish?
Yeah, very pleasing because it's a different type of game this year against Italy, because they are very pragmatic and how they exit their own half is completely different to how they played last year. So I thought our kicking game at times in the first half didn't complement too much as far as our clean exits and being able to get the ball back on the back of that. Some of our kicks were too long, but as far as they're concerned, they kept playing in their own half to a minimum, and it makes it tough to try and get the ball back in the right parts of the field. So we need to be patient enough and find a way of doing that, and I thought we did eventually through kick pressure, through defensive line speed, getting the ball back that way, quick tap from Hugo, etc., and got ourselves a bit of flow into the game that way. So it was pleasing that we found a way to get in control of the game.
Caelan, obviously a great win for Ireland, but from the players' point of view, how happy were you with that as a team performance?
Pretty happy, yeah. I think the way we started was pleasing. Keeping them to 0 was definitely very pleasing, given the quality of their attack. Something we had talked about through the week. They have a lot of structure in their attack and they've got threats throughout, so I don't think it's a mean feat keeping them to 0, and yeah, we're happy with that, definitely. We were talking on the way in there, there's probably 20-30 minutes where we went a little bit away from our structure, got a little bit ahead of ourselves at times, and we're maybe forcing things a little bit too desperate, but overall 36-0, scoring quite a few tries, obviously 2 disallowed as well, and keeping them to 0, it's pleasing overall.
Thanks. Cian, Ashton, then Kieran.
Yeah, Katie, congrats to the captaincy. What did it mean to lead the country out in Dublin in front of the pack to lead that into such a convincing?
It's special, and knowing the group we have makes it all the more special. Like, we're a very tight-knit group. This group has largely been together for the guts of 4 years plus now. The relationships we have is special, and the environment that Faz and Gary and all the coaches have set about being ourselves and being vulnerable makes my job easier and made it easier this week, and I leaned heavily on the other lads quite a bit as well. I think, from a personal point of view as well, it's sort of I hope that all the people who've been involved from Ballina the whole way to Blackrock all the way take a little bit of pride from this and from seeing me captain the country today. So no, I'm delighted with it.
I don't know if you get nervous before games. Will there be any extra nerves with the captaincy, or how would it sit?
Definitely more nervous than usual. I've gotten to a point where I'm usually fairly calm on game day. Looking forward to it, but yeah, it's more nervous today for sure.
By the way, Pete was shitting himself last week as well, you know.
Andy, what did you make of 8-year-old Stevie Mulrooney?
Oh wow! I tell you, I was actually saying before the game, I was just watching him the whole time. I didn't know whether he was standing with his mother or not, but when I soon realised that the other lady wasn't his mother, and she was singing the national anthem for the Italians, his confidence was amazing. I actually thought, I wish our lads are going to be like this. You know, he got his shoulders back and he was ready. He was waving to the crowd. And he stood there on his own, like, you know. And I thought, this kid's got it all, like, and he was amazing. He nailed it, didn't he? It was a great start.
Yeah,
great start.
Absolutely. And Jeff Crowley, how do you think he is settling in at the 10th position? He got his first international try today as well.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable try, actually. To offload the ball, be on the floor, quick ball from Craig, nice field coming around the corner, and Jack to get a touch after he just presented the ball. Yeah, it was a special try for him. I thought he started the game really well. In fact, I thought he played really well at 10. When he went to 15, he got a little bit wider. A few errors crept in there, but we'll work on that as well.
Was that always the plan, to push him to full back?
We always wanted to give Harry a little bit of time if possible, but Hugo got injured anyway, so we had to do it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Caelan.
Can I just ask a bit about the end job? Just had a big game in France last week against them.
Yeah, he's found his mojo, hasn't he? He's back. He's on fire at the minute. He's playing really well. You could see that when we first met up the first day of training. He's back to his old self. His confidence. He's bouncing around the place, and we spoke about during the week about his combination with Stu. The last time he played in Biarritz against Samoa wasn't what it should have been. They both worked really hard to make the team feel right today, and Robbie was certainly at the heart of that.
Okay, thanks. That's it for the TV online broadcast. The rest is embargo, please, for newspapers. So, if I could invite Jerry to kick things off.
Andy, I hate to move it on like this. We should enjoy the night. What were your impressions of Wales yesterday in your next moments?
For anyone to be in with a shot at Twickenham, they're going to put up they're going to have to put up a gutsy performance. You know, I thought they rode it very well. England put a lot of pressure on them, obviously with line speed, etc. Certainly in the first half, but they were patient enough to try and find a way, and they did, and they put England under a lot of pressure. I've no doubt that they'll gain a lot of confidence, but with the type of performance where they could have, should have, would have at Twickenham, they'll look to build on that now. They've got another couple of weeks to try and get on the right side of the result at the Viva, so it's going to be a tough game for us. Like I said, Jerry, the tournament's just started really now. It's a good start, but all the Triple Crown games coming together, it's going to be an exciting middle and end to this tournament.
Would you expect all your absentees that have had slight injuries, like Furlong, Manny, Odiaki, Gary, all to be back fit training this week?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And can I just ask about the scrum today? Obviously, kind of last week went under a bit of pressure, a few penalties given away. Today, kind of the reverse. What do you put that down to? Is it different personnel, composition, the referee slightly differently?
I know. Well, we've got an honest group, and we always review things very thoroughly anyway. An honest group would say last week they wanted to improve on that, and rightly so. And I thought there was a lot of intent in how we scrummaged today. I thought there was aggressive in how they went about that, and it's a huge advantage for us today in our game. So lessons learned from that, and punching forward to the Wales game, we need to build on that.
Okay, but just one more. I think it was after the Stade Francais game you were here, and you said when you captained a couple of weeks previous, you struggled a little bit with the communication with the ref. You found that challenging. After having said that, you thought that through today. How did you feel that?
Yeah, that was against Ulster with Frank Murphy. It was a couple of small things really. Kind of trying to put pressure on at the wrong times and leaving it a little bit late, going to talk to him. Probably a little bit better today, but yeah, it's still work in progress big time. Like, I don't have too much experience of doing it. I've had some good conversations with Pete and Sexto as well this week on how to deal with it, and yeah, they've been helpful.
Thanks, Neil.
Andy, 37 years since Ireland kept the opposition scorers in the championship game.
Is it? Well,
Can you articulate how difficult a thing that is to do? And like a stats there in the last 12 Six Nations game, you conceded 12 tries, and the next team was run after 27. Like, how much of a point of difference actually defensively?
it's huge, but it isn't just the defence. Well, I'm not done playing our defence, because our defence was outstanding today. You gotta want to keep people out as well, and the hunger to do that was obvious. It's obvious that as well that points mattered. It isn't just scoring tries; it's keeping them to the opposition to a minimum. So it mattered a lot to us. But what was really good about last week and this week is that our game is becoming more joined up. And if your game's more joined up, then you're able to have the energy to be able to defend like we did. If our set piece is so dominant, it gives you a little bit more energy because you're playing on the front foot more, etc., and playing in the right parts of the field as far as our attacking game's concerned, not overplaying, etc. It gives you more energy with our defence. But the hunger and the want, and actually, you say there about it's not easy. At times I thought we was well in control as far as our defence is concerned, which is unbelievably pleasing.
Rory?
Andy, how difficult are the players today made selections for the Wales game, considering how well it's been like for Marseille?
Yeah, that's what we wanted, and that's what we do it for, to give people a chance. Because if you've no headaches, we're in the wrong place as a group. So we've got a few more, haven't we, after today's performance, and we welcome that, and so do the rest of the squad.
Last couple of questions here, and then finish up there.
James Lowe, with backs to his best, and he's a very kind of unique player in the team, isn't he? Like, he's the kind of guy you can't approach him, he's going to be
Yeah, he had a great game. He's always there for us, isn't he? As far as his weapon of a left boot, but it was a bit more than that today, wasn't he? He ran with intent, and he's a big man, hard to stop. Got good skills at the line as well. So it was a hell of a try, hell of a finish, and I suppose that's what got him the man of the match in the end. Because I thought a few people running close as well. I thought Hugo was immense with the way that he played. Ryan Bird has some lovely touches within the game as well, and to a man, I thought it was a great performance. So for him to come out and get the man of the match says it all, really.
Derek?
Can you just explain to us how you should be looking at the second row? If a young man has a terrific game last week, it's not always necessarily that he's going to play man of the match again this week. So there's certain things from Big Joe. Then we had James Ryan coming in, clearly looking as if he was galvanised from sitting on the bench. His defence in the first half, his statistics were off the wall. Ian Henderson remains clearly part of the squad. I get by it. And Ty Burton's been our talisman for an awful long time. And you just, I always think you take a risk when you don't have him in the side. Just tell us how that's cornflakes boxing in, settling down.
It's exactly where it should be, and I think it worked pretty nicely this week because of all that you just said there, Derek. That now all four of them realise that all four of them are in good form, and it means a lot to them. James is always going to try and prove a point. Ian Henderson's been outstanding actually off the bench in the last few games that he's done that for us, and Big Joe keeps rumbling on, you know. Tyburn was immense last week, so the competition for that is exactly where it should be. How we go about selecting that is a great problem to have, and I suppose it comes down to the type of game and the opposition that we're playing against.
And can you just say a word about James Ryan, who if we were looking at a year ago, we might have expected him to be captain. He's had to deal with a lot of things sitting on the bench and all that. He clearly, obviously responded, as you say, really well.
He's a team player, nothing but. And you know, the best example of that, and you heard me say it before, Peter Mooney got dropped a good few years ago for this man actually, and he was the first one to not whinge and moan about it, but help Caelan. Remember that, Caelan? To be as prepared as he possibly could be. When you've got examples like that, it shows what it matters to be a team player for Ireland, and people follow that type of example. And James has done exactly the same. You know, he a lot of responsibility today on his shoulders in regards to calling the line out, which was fantastic. His calling was great, etc. So he was able to be himself because of that.
Thanks everyone. Thanks Andy. Thanks Caelan. So Stuart will go to get John Quinn now from TV Online, and an embargo Joe McCarthy outside. So newspaper correspondent will come outside.